the alert menu to get set up. And on that page, you'll see a link that says New Action Alert. Click that to launch your alert. And now you're ready for step 1. Step 1 is to set the properties for the alert. You'll fill in the subject. Then put in an internal alert description and an activation date and an expiration date. Those are the dates between which people will be allowed to take action on this. And you can store this in a folder, then save your changes and move on to step 2, which is the activist message. This is the email message that will go out to your activists, asking them to take action. You can fill in the from sender that will appear in people's inbox, and you can use your organization's name or a combination of your name and the organization's name, like this. The from email needs to be a real email address that can accept replies and questions regarding the alert, and the bounces will also go to that email address, but you can ignore those because the databank will handle bounces and unsubscribe requests automatically. You can also put in the subject line here again, or further edit it, and put in a default first name, which is used in cases where there's no first name in the database for a person, only their email address. And then moving down the page, here is an HTML editor, which allows you to, you can write the message here and then also format it using different fonts and colors and things like that. And this will preload a template which has been set up for your alerts, and it will probably contain some prompts for you to fill in a problem and solution or a description of the action and so forth. Just move down here a little bit. On that page will be an Act Now button, which is what people use to log into your system online and complete their action. And there will also be privacy policy and unsubscribe links there. When you're done composing your message with your call to action, save it, and then you can move on to step 3, which is the action page. That is the page that people will land on when they click through from their email message. For the action page, you just fill in a headline, which will appear in bold at the top of the page, a brief summary of the issue, and then more background information. Typically, we advise you to use only 2 to 3 paragraphs there, although if you need to include more information, you can put it in at the bottom of this page, either a link to a page that contains more information on your site or another website, or you can create a new web page on your Action Center by putting the text in here. When you're finished with that, save it, and then you'll go to step 4, which is to choose the targets, the end recipients of the messages from your activists. And for this alert, I will choose your state senator. That will look in the database at where the individual lives and who represents them, and will match them up with the right person. If you want to choose an individual to receive a copy of all messages, regardless of where the constituent lives, then you can search that this way. And I'm going to search for a particular elected official here. I did the search and then the search results show up here. I'm going to do a carbon copy to Representative Doty, who we'll say was the sponsor of this legislation in the State House. And then when you're finished with that, you can move on to the next step, which is the target message. That's the suggested message that you would like the targets to receive, but your activists will be able to alter that message if they wish. Do this, and just fill in something there for the body. Then at the bottom of that page, you choose the delivery method for this, and you can choose from a variety of delivery methods depending on what you think will be most effective in this situation and whether the legislature is in session or not, or Congress is in session, and so forth. And you can choose more than one. So in this case, the system will first attempt to email each of the targets. If the email address is not available, but there is a web contact form for that person, then it'll roll to that automatically. Open up that contact form within a web page where your activist can fill it out and copy and paste their message in there, and then confirm that they've completed it. The fax rollover is automatic, and then in some cases you might want to only send faxes or have people send letters. You can also ask people to follow up with a letter or phone call by choosing that in a second or even a third or fourth slot. And it'll present the anything past number 1 will not be automated. It'll just present those additional options to the activists after their electronic messages have been delivered. And then you can also edit the instructions on the page where they're sending additional messages down below here. When you're finished with that, save it. And then you will be finally ready to do the last step, step number 6, which is publishing the alert. And there you can choose to show it on your website and allow taking action. You want to make sure that allow taking action is set when you're ready to go. Save those settings. And then you can send a test message to make sure everything is okay, and I certainly recommend that. You can also use our spam analysis tool to see how likely the message is to get through spam filters. And then finally, you can send the real message either to your current selection, which is your current search results, or you can send it to all people with valid email addresses that are deliverable in your database. And if you're using the Databank's coalition tools, you'll also see this stuff about participating organizations. That allows coalition members to opt in or out to participate in the alert. And you can choose to send the alert immediately or schedule it at a later date and time. And then click send. There is a much more detailed training that we offer live several times a year on this tool. So check the Databank's website for a training calendar, and you can sign up for that for live training. You also can reference our user guide, which is available under your help menu. There's an advocacy user guide. And last but not least, you can always use the support request or visit our support center for forum topics and tips and tricks about the action alert system. Thanks for watching the tutorial, and good luck with your advocacy efforts.